Well, hello there, you beautiful, beautiful people. It's Monday. It's Monday. Is it Monday? No, it's not. It's actually Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? I have no clue what day it is. Let's move on. So look, straight into the meat and potatoes as we talk about... Is Gigi the source who has been providing Newsnation with information close to the case? Is she indeed the person who is close to the source? Because what I will say is, if she is, then Newsnation really needs to do some better vetting of their sources. And I would say that that is enough to make them 100% be an unreliable source of news. And I know some people will be saying...
Well, we know that already, Harsh. What are you talking about?
And look, she was over on T-Rev's, and the link to T-Rev's video will be in the description of this video, and she's pretty much the first caller, so don't worry, you don't have to watch the entire thing, just the beginning. And look, if T-Rev hadn't have rolled his eyes as many times as he did, I would have disowned him. But look, massive kudos. How he made it through that, I do not know, because this was complete and utter lunacy. Some people said, I saw in chat, and they were saying she's got some good information. No, she hasn't got some good information at all. She's got no good information whatsoever. What you need to be aware of is when people talk about the case, there are little things, little elements to how they talk that will give you an insight into whether what they're saying is valid information or it's not. And when they start giving little cues to the fact that they themselves are completely speculating, that's when you need to start having a big problem with what this person is saying. Now look, I'm going to kind of mop the floor with it in terms of, look, there are so many people who want to be involved in this case. They want to get their information out there. They want to speak. They want to make it seem like they have lots of information. I touched on this on a video that I did yesterday because this is a hot topic. It's a hot topic and it brings in views. It brings in clicks and ultimately a bit of that. But why I'm doing this video is because I feel for people who watch things and they listen to things, they listen to people and they get taken down these rabbit holes. They get pulled in. Like I could cause a rabbit hole right now. And I'll give you an example. So with respect to Brian Koberger, one of the first things that we heard him say was, had anyone else been arrested? Which when you take what he said there and pair that with some other elements of what we've subsequently learnt since then, like things like the speed of the attack, he did what he did at such a speed it leads you to believe that someone else was involved, and so on and so forth. Now, what if it was someone in his family who was helping him? The DNA that matched the father's DNA. That it seems probable that he did indeed have someone to help him, so it could have indeed been one of his sisters. That is a rabbit hole. But if that is put by a certain person in a certain way and paired with certain other information, then people will start believing that that is a possibility. And now I've said that, I'm acutely aware that some people will think, hold on a second, Brian Koberger, he's kind of made it sound like someone else was involved. There's a potential for another arrest, but he hasn't said anything. He hasn't dropped anyone else in it. So who would he want to protect if there was indeed another person? Could it indeed be someone in his family? And that's why he's protected it. Who knows? A rabbit hole. But this Gigi person over on T-Rev, the information that she was going through, some of the things that she said, such as the fact that Brian Koberger had been sacked, had been fired, seems that she was potentially the person who gave that letter to Newsnation, possibly, and that he then went from being sacked and fired, whatever, and having that altercation with the faculty, and then went and cut the top of a rabbit's head off. I don't know. And who the fuck is Buddy the dog? Buddy the dog. I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, eye rolling all the way through that. Look, at the end of the day, some of the elements that she spoke about, like the drugs, the narcotics and things like that, I'm sure that is a problem. But if you take a lot of what she said and remove Brian Koberger out of that situation, that makes a lot more sense, because I believe that this area has a big problem underlying. We've heard about the amount of students losing their lives over in Washington. We know that you've got the sororities and the frat houses, and, there's going to be elements within that touch on narcotics, whether it be sales and distribution. We've seen it in the past. I did a video months ago that touched on the fact that there has, in that area, been people arrested for trafficking narcotics. We know that was a popular house known as a party house, and when you've got college students and they've got a bit of money, they've got a bit of wedge, they're going to get involved in drinks and drugs and partying. It's going to be that. But I don't at the moment see anything concrete that would say that this was a crime that was specifically to do with narcotics. Now, I can't say that it's not anything to do with it, because at the end of the day, there still has to be a reason that this happened. There has to be a reason why these specific students were targeted by the killer, 100%. And what was it? Was it simply that they'd been seen in a restaurant, snubbed a person or persons, and it went onto social media, and that's where the issue stemmed from? We don't know that yet, and it will take until June to start seeing some real information. But again, like I said yesterday, hold your horses, hold back, be careful what you listen to, be careful whose words and information you take as gospel, including mine, because we speculate a lot over here, and wait until June. Catch you all in the next one.